Welcome back to another episode of Tye's Cincinnati Real Estate Reviews. Today we're going to be talking about the areas of Batavia and Batavia Township. These are suburbs just to the east of the downtown Cincinnati area in Clermont County. We're going to be talking about the schools, the parks, the restaurants. Is it walkable? Is it dog friendly? And of course, the values of real estate there. And don't forget to stick around at the end. I'm going to give you the 3 things I dislike about the area and the 3 things I love about the area. Let's go. Welcome back. I'm Derek Tye. I'm with eXp Realty, and I've been serving Greater Cincinnati home buyers and sellers here since 2004. So let's start with, why should I buy a home in the Greater Cincinnati area? Starting with the business community, there are a ton of Fortune 100 companies here, small businesses, and even startups. There's great schools from preschools all the way to top universities. We have world-class sports like the Cincinnati Reds, Cincinnati Bengals, Hoo Day, and soccer. We've got amazing parks, both city, township, even state parks everywhere. We have lots of friendly people that smile, which I like. Farmers markets all over town, world-class fine arts and entertainment, restaurants, the Cincinnati Zoo, world-class hospitals, an international airport, and even great real estate home values. So now you know why to buy a home in the Greater Cincinnati area. So let's talk about, where is Batavia located? Batavia is a small village with less than 2,000 residents, and the Batavia Township is much larger with 27,000 residents. So I'm going to have you look at this Batavia Township zoning map. You're going to see that most of Batavia Township is green, which is great. It's agricultural, it's farms, it's parks. You're going to see, going from east to west, left to right, down kind of toward the middle, that section is State Route 32, which connects like the Eastgate Union Township area out toward Williamsburg, and that's the Appalachian Highway. So along that corridor, you're going to see businesses in red there and commercial. You're going to see hospitals and manufacturing facilities. And the white section in the middle is actually where Batavia, the village, is located, with its business district and some homes there as well. On the bottom of the map, you're going to see a section of red. That's State Route 125. So this actually connects to the Union Township and Pierce Township area. And there's a business district in Amelia that connects to along that business corridor. So let's talk about the proximity to downtown Cincinnati. You would take a State Route 32 to 275 south to I-471 north to get into downtown Cincinnati. That's about a 30-minute drive. You could also take some back roads through State Route 32 and stay on that pretty much all the way through to downtown as well. So hospitals in the area. So there's actually one specifically right there in the township, and that is the Mercy Health Batavia campus. There's also an Anderson Mercy Hospital 20 minutes away, and a Bethesda North Hospital in Montgomery is about 25 minutes away. If you want to get to the main international airport, that's the CVG airport located in Hebron, Kentucky. Most Cincinnati people use that airport. That is a 40-minute drive away. There's also a small regional airport there in Clermont County called the Clermont County Airport, where you can fly small aircraft in and out of there as well. So what makes Batavia and Batavia Township special? Well, first of all, it has a little bit of everything. It's got a suburban feel in some areas, farms, then you're going to see huge parks, rivers, restaurants, and there are some commercial areas as well. Most neighborhoods in Batavia Township that people live in are relatively close to main roads and highways. You're going to see a lot of farms and rural areas kind of in between the neighborhoods, and then you're going to see some commercial districts kind of sprinkled in there as well. The job scene in Clermont County is actually pretty good. Along the 275 corridor, you have both State Route 125 and State Route 32 that come off of there. Both of them connect to Batavia Township through Union Township. Once you get into Batavia Township, you're going to see some large manufacturing places. You're going to see some office parks. You're going to see a hospital, a lot of retail and restaurant jobs there as well. So is there good shopping available in Batavia and Batavia Township? Well, really no. It is mostly agricultural. It's mostly parks. There aren't a ton of retail areas. You're going to see some strip centers and some, smaller shops and stores. But if you're looking for like major grocery stores like Walmart, Kroger, Meijer, Costco, Sam's Club, home goods, those kind of larger retailers and grocery stores, most people are going to go west into Union Township Eastgate area or south into the kind of the Beachmont Avenue 125 section. Both of those are about 10 to 15 minutes away. So what about restaurants and bars in that area? Well, there aren't too many restaurant options in Batavia. You've got a few small restaurants in the downtown village area. You've got some sprinkled along next to the hospital and some of the manufacturing areas. Those are mainly fast food restaurants and small locally owned restaurants. So what are my favorite restaurants in the Batavia and Batavia Township areas? From years ago, I grew up in the Union Township Eastgate area, and so a lot of times we would go into Batavia and Batavia Township for the parks and sometimes for the restaurants. One of our family favorites was Grandma's Pizza, not to be confused with Grandma's Pizza, which is very different. The Grandma's family owns a chain of these pizza places here in the Cincinnati area, and it's kind of an old school classic dough, big thick square slices, and a lot of times people would take these to the drive-in movie theater that's located just south of Batavia Township. So you get your pizza to go and you go sit at the drive-in movie theater and you have a slice of pizza. And the food at the drive-in is actually pretty good as well. Another one of our family favorites is UDF. This is a really strange concept to a lot of people outside of Cincinnati, but we have these gas stations all over Greater Cincinnati called UDF, or United Dairy Farmers. And it's a gas station, but inside you have like a Sunday shop, malts, and a lot of people will get frozen yogurt, and it's got a little, convenience store in there. Now they do coffees and protein shakes, but it's kind of just a Greater Cincinnati thing. If you haven't been to a UDF before, go get your gas and then go inside and get some ice cream. Another one of my favorites is Beans and Brews. This is a small locally owned coffee shop in the village of Batavia. I've met people there for lunch meetings and coffee before, just to have a nice little meeting spot. There aren't any Starbucks or other kind of national chains in the village of Batavia, so this is your best bet for coffee. And the coffee I had, the latte, was excellent. Another really neat option there in the area is Clear Mountain Food Park. This is a combination of food trucks and outdoor seating, lots of socializing, live music, playing cornhole, a lot of cool vibes, and people bringing their pet. So if you're looking for that kind of outdoor scene with a bunch of food trucks and kind of thing like that, I would definitely check out the Clear Mountain Food Park. Another great local option here in Greater Cincinnati is Frisch's Big Boy. So if you've been to a Big Boy before, then you know what this is. They've got them all around the country. Frisch's is the kind of the local brand of those. It's the guy standing out front with the big double cheeseburger there, the big statue. They serve breakfast all day. They do a brunch buffet on the weekends, and then you can also get the double stacked cheeseburger called a Big Boy with their special sauce. Onion rings are my favorite there, and then obviously you got to get some French fries with that. And then if you're going to go there, you might as well go all the way and get a strawberry milkshake as well while you're at Frisch's Big Boy. If you're looking for some more upscale eating options, you're going to travel a little bit further south or west into the Union Township Eastgate area, where you can find like a Longhorn Steakhouse. If you want to go with kind of more of a chef's restaurant, you're going to have to go downtown Cincinnati to maybe a Jeff Ruby restaurant or Nada or Boca, one of the kind of the higher end restaurants, or you can go north up into the Montgomery area, and you can get to Napa or the Carlo and Johnny or Tony's or Eddie Merlot, one of those kind of restaurants. But in that Batavia Township area, you're not going to find a lot of upscale dining options. So what about parks in the Batavia and Batavia Township area? Well, this is something that is really great about Batavia and the Batavia Township area. It is a very green township and green town. So I'm going to give you a few of my favorites there. First of all, you have to talk about East Fork State Park. That offers everything from fishing, swimming, camping, horseback riding, playgrounds, walking trails, and a place to fly your RC airplane, wildlife management, power boating, and of course, if you're there at night, stargazing, because there's not a lot of businesses or lights around. Second, Sycamore Park is one of my family favorites as well. Again, I grew up in the neighboring town of the Eastgate area, and we used to go into Batavia. We actually had a Batavia mailing address, which people really got confused on where we lived. But in that Batavia area, there's the Sycamore Park, beautiful mature trees. There's a river that runs through there, a playground, walking trails, I have memories of going there and flipping over rocks and getting crawdads and tadpoles. So if that's your kind of thing, that's a great park. Another great option is the Batavia Township Park. This is the crown jewel of the township park system. It's basically their one and main only park. It's a large playground area, baseball fields, soccer fields, tennis courts, walking trail. They also have picnic areas, a pavilion, and a stocked fishing pond. Is Batavia walkable and dog friendly? So I would say let's put this into two categories. So for the dog friendliness, I would say there aren't a ton of restaurants and shopping options and like walkable things from your house to a restaurant or to a business. And the same thing goes with the sidewalks, right? So inside these different neighborhoods, most of them have sidewalk systems within the neighborhood, but then that neighborhood is probably going to be isolated from other neighborhoods and from the business districts and from the parks. So what most people do, if they want to walk, if they want to take a dog somewhere, they're going to put them in their car and they're going to drive them to the park and walk them there. Now, if you just want to stay within your neighborhood, there are some absolutely gorgeous neighborhoods all over Batavia Township. Or if you live in the village of Batavia, it's a little different. There you actually could, there's 2,000 residents that live in the village. You could live in one of those houses there in the village, and then you can walk through a sidewalk system to get to that little downtown village of Batavia where you've got a couple restaurants, a couple stores, a couple shops, a couple places to work. So it really has to be broken down into the township area, and the village area are kind of separate on that. If you're looking for a specific dog-friendly neighborhood or a walkable neighborhood that can get you to a business district, just reach out to us at that number below and we can help you navigate which neighborhoods are more dog-friendly or more walkable than others. So what school options are there in Batavia and Batavia Township? Well, there are preschool options around the township, so you can see that map here. Most every home is actually part of the Batavia School District, with small exceptions for some residents going to the West Claremont School District, and some actually go to the New Richmond Local School District. So if you're looking for specific school districts within Batavia Township, you'll probably need to reach out to us so we can break that down neighborhood by neighborhood for you and help you pick the school district that you're most interested in. Or if you just reach out to us directly with a text message and tell us what neighborhood you're trying to get into and what school district, we can try to pair those up together for you. If you're looking for specific ratings on schools that are there in the Batavia Township area, you can go to the Ohio School Report Card website, and then from there you can select different school districts and you can see what the rankings and ratings are for each school. There are some private school options, mainly on the preschool side. If you're looking for K through 12 private schools, you're going to need to travel a little bit further away, about a half an hour, to get to some of the major private schools there in the Greater Cincinnati area. So what types of homes are available and how much do they cost? There are several types of homes that you can live in the Batavia Village and the Batavia Township areas. They range from apartments, condos, townhomes, single family homes, attached condos, detached condos. There are master plan communities where there's a little bit of every option there. And then we also have large luxury homes and farms. The typical construction of homes in the area is going to be vinyl siding. There's going to be some cement siding board, some homes with brick, some with stone as well. You do see some of the older properties that may have fiber board on the outside or the metal siding as well. Most homes in the area have 1-car to 3-car garages, and most of those homes also have a basement, usually a partially finished basement on most of the larger homes. Condos in the last year have sold for an average of $200,000 with an average of $146 per square foot. 3-bedroom homes have averaged $250,000 at an average of $160 per square foot. The 4-bedroom and up homes, including our luxury home segment, and farms and some of the larger properties, were $370,000 average at $148 per square foot. If you're looking for today's values, just reach out to me directly and I'll be happy to get you the updated list. So what are 3 things I dislike about the area? Well, first of all, the village of Batavia has a lot of potential and it could use some money invested into it. Some of the downtown streets haven't seen some redevelopment dollars for many years. But in the last few years, it has gotten better. I've seen some small business owners going and trying to revitalize some of the old buildings that were there, and also try to make some new cool businesses like a farmer's market and the coffee shop, barbecue places, things like that, to kind of revitalize the interest in that downtown village area of Batavia. The second thing I dislike about the area, and this is what I hear from residents, and I used to live out that direction, it is pretty far from a downtown Cincinnati commute. So if you get a job downtown Cincinnati or Mason, and those are kind of where the like Procter & Gamble and some of the bigger employers are, and then you want to commute, this is going to be at least a 30 to 35 minute commute for you every day each way. And now if you're coming from some other cities, that may not be a big deal, but in Cincinnati, sometimes people like to be within that 30-minute commute time. The third thing I dislike about the Batavia and Batavia Township area is that the neighborhoods are really spread out. Now, it's great that it's a rural area, very green, lots of trees and parks and all that. But if you're trying to get neighborhood to neighborhood connectivity or neighborhood to a business district, unless you're in the village or really close to one of the business districts like toward Amelia, you're probably not going to be like in a walkable community. So if that's something that's important to you, you may want to choose very carefully in the township or the village area. So what are the three things I love about the Batavia and Batavia Township areas? Well, first of all, I love that about 80% of the township is green. You saw that zoning map earlier. A lot of the areas are reserved and preserved for parks, for just green space. They're agricultural. People are growing things. They're raising animals. There are large lots so that, even in a neighborhood, you might have homes with 5 acres. I love that, and I think that's really special. I have friends that live in Batavia Township. I've sold a lot of homes and farms in Batavia Township. People love just to be spread apart and not be on top of each other. The second thing I love about the Batavia area is the parks. I mean, unbelievable, great parks. So you've got the county park, Sycamore Park, East Fork State Park. We mentioned all these earlier. I just love the fact that you can drive a very short driving distance and be at one of these amazing scenic parks just miles down the street. The third thing I love about this area are that you have big yards and mostly larger than average size lots with views of trees and hills. You don't feel like you're on top of your neighbor. In some areas, you can still buy a house on 5 acres, have a private lake, a barn, horses, and you barely ever see your neighbor. So if that's something you're interested in, this is a really cool place to live, not too far from Greater Cincinnati downtown, and you still get that rural feel. I'm going to give you a bonus thing I love about Batavia and Batavia Township, and that's the prices. The prices of homes, if you compare them to other parts of Greater Cincinnati, are super low. So if you're looking for a great value in real estate in terms of getting a big yard or big house, and you don't mind driving a little bit further out, this is a great place to get a good value on a home in the Greater Cincinnati area. Thank you for taking your time today to watch this video on Batavia and Batavia Township. I hope you learned something about the area, and I hope that you could like, subscribe, or follow for more videos just like this. If you have any comments of things you want to add, of things that you love about Batavia and Batavia Township, please add those here in the YouTube comments below. And of course, if you are looking to buy in the area and want some advice, you can always text or call that number below, and we'll be happy to get back with you right away. I hope to see you soon, and thanks for watching.